Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a really frustrating hearing, and obviously a colossal failure. I mean, we have a government that will tell us how much water we can have flushing in our toilets, how much corn we have to put in the gasoline we use to drive our cars and boats, and the government will tell us the type of health insurance we can and cannot buy. And yet, on the core functions of government, the things that we all need the government to do, it seems to me that it fails habitually, and this is a major example of that. The numbers of people affected, when Ms. Archuleta talked about we don't know on the clearance side, yeah, we don't know. You know why? Because it's not just the person who filled out the form that's at risk of that. I mean, you have friends, family members, associates, foreign nationals who you may know, who China would like to know who those foreign nationals are. So you're talking about an exponentially larger number than just simply the number of people who filled out those forms. And yet, it seems to me that we just have bureaucratic paralysis. Nobody is really accountable. Now, Ms. Archuleta, let me ask you, members of this committee have called upon you to resign. You've rebuffed that. Do you still believe you should remain in your position?
I am more committed than ever to serve the employees of this administration. I am working very hard, and I think
Do you accept responsibility?
I accept the responsibilities that are given to the director of the OPM, and I have fulfilled those responsibilities by making sure that we have the right people in the right places and seeking the resources that we need to do our work, and to make sure that the systems that we have in place can do the work that they're expected to do. Again, we have a legacy system that is 30 years old. We have dedicated money and
I appreciate
resources.
that, and I've been here for your statements, and I've heard you make that point.
Thank you, sir.
But if not you, then who, if anybody in OPM, should be held accountable for this colossal failure?
I am responsible as the director of OPM.
Is anybody going to be held responsible?
For a number of different responsibilities. I take very seriously, as I said in my confirmation hearing and many other hearings after, including today.
But what about responsibility? Because I'll tell you what my constituents will tell me. They'll say, Ron, we have people mess up in the government all the time and nothing ever happens. And that's not the world that our constituents live in, where there's usually consequences. And so you're not committing that anybody will be fired or held accountable because of this, correct?
I am committing to you that we're going to do the best job we can.
Well, and I appreciate that, but that, quite frankly, is not something that I think the American people have confidence in right now, given what's happened. Now, let me ask Ms. Barron DiCamillo, people have been warning about the risk of a cyber Pearl Harbor. Obviously, the IG had warned OPM about vulnerabilities in their system for years and years. Does this constitute a cyber Pearl Harbor?
That question was asked to me earlier. I don't know if you were here. We use a severity scale, and on the severity scale, based on the impact to data, the impact to the network, and getting back to a known good, healthy state, we would consider this to be a medium to high severity level kind of an event, based on the kind of data that was possibly exposed and exfilled, and then the ability for the mitigations that we put in place as part of the plan that we provided to OPM post-assessment.
But those are mitigations for the system itself, correct? The mitigations that you would perform don't include mitigations for any of the capabilities that some of the people whose identities may have been compromised perform on behalf of our country, correct?
Correct. I'm a technical operator, cybersecurity operations, and we're focused on helping OPM and other departments and agencies, critical infrastructure, ensure the protection of their networks. So when we do an event like this, we provide mitigations to help them get back to a known good, healthy state, as well as prevent these kinds of things. And if they are targeted again, which a lot of times they are, helping them detect that activity quicker in the cycle so they can contain it and then clean that up.
So if China gets blackmail information that they could use against people serving in our government in important positions, if China is able to identify foreign nationals, Chinese foreign nationals maybe who are friendly with the United States and with people, there's no way you can calculate the damage that causes, correct?
I'm a cybersecurity operator. That's clearly a question for intelligence.
And I think it's a very important question, and I think I think the damage to this is very, very severe, and I yield back the balance of my time.